Alright, here's a quick video on repairing a servo. Now this servo right here, I could unplug and just pry it out and just take it out and replace it. That would be the easiest way to go. However, and you can see there's actually no grinding or anything. What happened was it was stuck like this, and it was stuck like this. I tried to push it back into place, but it was stuck and I couldn't do it. So instead of turning on the radio and hoping the radio would straighten it out, I just pushed it and click, and there's nothing. Zero. So I'm going to pry it out and repair it on the wing itself, because taking the wing apart with all of the wires and trying to fish them through the fuselage into the body is a royal pain in the butt. It's doable, it's not impossible, but it's more of a pain in the butt to do that than it is just to repair the servo on the wing. That's how big of a pain in the butt is. So let's get started. Okay, so what I just did, I just took a box cutter, fished it down in there like this behind the servo, and then just pulled up. It's just got double-sided tape on it, I think, and it didn't pull out that easy, but it pulled out. So it's just got, looks like it's got a little double-sided tape on it, or a little bit of just something sticky to hold it in there. That's all that is. So let's open it up and see what the heck's going on with it, see what's wrong with it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up all four of these bottom screws here. I unloosened or unscrewed the first three, and then when you're unscrewing the servo like this, it's got three parts to it. The case has three parts, so you can take off the bottom, which is helpful when you're soldering on the wire, but I'm going to leave that on because we're not getting to that part. And then there's a metal case that goes around, and then there's the top part. So what I should have done first, I'm going to do now. Your actual first step is to take off the servo horn. And it feels like the servo horn is pretty tight on there, so I'm not really sure which gear stripped out, but it's stripped good, because there's, usually you'll feel some clicking or something, but I didn't feel anything. So let's hold on to the, here we go, take that top piece right out there. Uh-oh. Okay, let me get the camera. Let's take a closer look at that's what we're getting right there. You see this right there? Those are just gears. Stripped off gears that are just hanging there. I don't even know where they're coming from yet. And this servo looks a little different than most of the ones I'm used to seeing. Okay, there's the culprit right there. The main gear that goes on top that holds the servo arm that goes through the case, that one was fine. It's the gear just opposite of that. So that main gear stripped that little thing, and these gears, man, the plastic ones are just so brittle. Don't do what I did. Don't force it, because it'll strip. So let me check out my servo box and see if I got another servo similar to this one. If not, I'll see what I can do, because I want to avoid having to take the whole wing off. So let's take a look. So in my box of servos, or my bag of servos, I found one that was the same servo. However, check it out. I don't know if we can get that close, but those gears are stripped off of that one in the same exact spot. It's hard to see on there. See the metal? You can see the metal pin right there, and then the gears come around, and the gears are laying right on top there. Same exact thing. Well, let's see if we got anything else. So what I found out of my bag, I got all kinds of gears down that bag. I'm sure everyone's got something like this that has just, separate all your broken servo stuff, and then here's a bag of, I'm kind of running low, but these are all good servos that I can use. And then these are all just used for parts. So I was fishing around at the bottom, and I found something similar right there. Now it's not as thick and it's not as long, but I'm gonna give it a try with the rest of the gearing that's in there. So let's put this back in place the way it was. It fits okay that way. And then on your top, try not to, you know, the floor is a bottomless pit. Whenever something hits my floor, you can just consider it gone. But I found this one. This is the top one, and it's got a little nub. Maybe you can see the little nub on top, and it's got a like a slot in it so that it only goes on one way. That top one, remember, it only goes on one way. So if you're forcing it down, you got to turn it around to match that pin. And it feels like I'm forcing it there. Which way is it going? That looks good. That looks good. Should be something like this. Is that? Yep, that's it. Okay, now it looks like it's on the replacement gear. It looks like the top of it is only about halfway up the main gear on top, but it feels pretty strong. So what I'm going to do is tighten it back up, put it all back together, and give it a test run, and we'll come back and check that out. Alright, this is no BS here. I didn't give it a test. I didn't give it a test run or nothing. We're going to see it. You're going to see it with me. Here we go. Look at that. It's really... Oh, there it goes. Look at it. We got it. So we're back into action. Let's center up that servo horn and stick it back in there. Let's see what we got. Here's a quick note. Before gluing it, always save gluing for your very, very, very last point. Because if you glue it in now and your horn isn't centered, you're going to have to yank it out of there and pull the horn off, recenter it, and then screw it down. So right now all we're going to do is, it fits in there real nice. Fits in there nice. The aileron looks like it's lined up pretty good. This is the flap, but they're kind of off right now. But anyways, the aileron looks like it's all good. It's all connected. Give it a, I don't know if it's going to pop out, but look at that. We're back in action. Okay, let's glue it down with a little hot glue. Yes, I use hot glue for everything. It's cheap and it works. Okay, let's glue it down. Okay, so here we go. We're going to just tack it up with a little hot glue. Looks like it wasn't glued in real good. I'm just going to do the bottom because who knows, maybe one day, I might need to get to it again. All right, we look like we're set. And that aileron looks like it's perfect, but oh, you know what? I don't have the flaps hooked up. That's why it's not all perfect. But this looks really good. I'm not even going to adjust it on the clevis here, but if it was off a little bit, I'd just adjust it with the clevis and make it flush. So I think that we're in. I didn't have to take the whole thing apart to get to it. Popped it off, unscrewed it, and got to the gear that was broken. Found a replacement gear that was out of an old broken servo. There was actually a gear that was on the bottom of the bag. Put it in there. It works great. So I didn't have to replace the servo, and I didn't have to use up one of my good servos. So we just 10-minute repair job, and it came out good. I think it should be strong enough to hold. Let's check it out. Look at that. We are back in business. Fantastic. Rub off your excess glue. It would be nice. And that's it. We're done.